In the first part of chapter 171, we had this very interesting way of putting things, that consciousness exists between this and that. I described it as like the two sides of a coin. It's like saying the coin exists between its two sides. And this and that can be any discrimination that we might think of. Discrimination between internal, external, self, world, real, unreal, whatever. This is what creates the world. This consciousness, this discriminating consciousness, this consciousness that discriminates between this and that, the cognitive process, that's what gives rise to our notions of the world. So the world here is in between apostrophes. It's what creates our reality, this discriminating consciousness, this cognitive process. Vasistha continued, "Where shall I go for that which is not Brahman, or the infinite consciousness? Alas, the world is a strange place where people regard the unreal world to be real." So they understand these notions to be real, and they give these notions the status of objects of perception. We externalise these notions and we accord them reality. Yet they do reach the same Brahman. I'm not sure if this translation makes much sense here. Yet they do reach the same Brahman. I think perhaps in light of the simile which comes next, we can say that what this means is they stem from the same Brahman. This belief in the external world, in objects of perception, this belief that the unreal is real, is because of the power of Brahman, of the radiance of Brahman, the overwhelming radiance of Brahman. The radiance of a precious gem is not its creation, nor is it independent of the gem. Even so, the world appearance is non-different from the self, which is pure consciousness. I think this is a wonderful simile. It's like a gem. When you look at a gem, what you get caught up in is its reflections, its facets, its changing colours. But the gem is one thing, isn't it? The gem is actually unchanging, but we perceive it as changing. We get hypnotised by its light. We can imagine worlds within the gem. The sun shines in that supreme state of consciousness. The sun is the great illuminator. But bear in mind that this was written before electricity was so prevalent. So you can imagine how important the sun's light would have been. It still is, but we just don't appreciate it so much perhaps. The sun shines in that supreme state of consciousness. The sun is non-different from that self. However, neither the sun nor the moon can illumine or reveal the self. It is because of the inherent power of that consciousness that the sun and the moon themselves shine and thus illumine and reveal the objects of perception. So everything basically arises from consciousness. Even the sun, even all the objects in the cosmos, but most obviously the sun and the moon also arise in consciousness. They're the great illuminators, but consciousness is the supreme illuminator. That consciousness is with form and it is without form. All these are words and meaningless concepts. Particles of light that constitute the rays of the sun are the rays of the sun, non-different from it. So it is right to say that they shine, and also to say that they do not shine. I suppose they are the shine, aren't they? Even so, it is right to say that the sun and the moon shine, and it is also right to say that they do not. So is it the rays that are shining, or is it this sun and the moon that are shining? I think this is another way of extending the simile about the crystal, the gem. It's got its radiance. It's not different from its radiance, but it's also not its radiance. Since the sun and all the other luminous bodies shine because of the infinite consciousness, how can it be said that they do not shine, or it does not shine? In other words, how can it be said that the luminous bodies do not shine, or the infinite consciousness does not shine? That supreme state is beyond all concepts, even those of mass of consciousness and void. It is devoid of everything, but it is also full of everything. It's like the nature of dreams. Dreams have no essential substance, yet anything can appear within a dream. And as spiritual practitioners, we often come back to this state of openness in which we are resting in the realization that all this is the infinite consciousness and has no intrinsic substance. It's void, and yet everything appears within it. It's like the silence which allows sound to happen. Without silence, there could be no sound. Hence the earth, etc. do exist. On the other hand, nothing exists in it. So everything exists within consciousness, but yet they've got no intrinsic self-nature. They've got no intrinsic reality. Though there are infinite jivas in it, yet they do not exist as jivas independent of consciousness. Something, nothing, etc. are concepts which are far from the reality or the infinite consciousness. Something and nothing are the this and that of our discriminating intelligence.